absolutely monumental game and weekend in general in the race, the pursuit of top four football. Obviously, we are not challenging for the title, but either way, it's 10 o'clock. Before we begin, please do like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell notification to be notified of any future content on the channel. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, it's another game in a very, very crazy Premier League campaign. Chelsea currently in second place behind Liverpool. Just 2 points the difference at the moment. They themselves are on the back of 2 consecutive draws. Chelsea, 5 wins in a row in the league. We face Everton and Liverpool face Tottenham Hotspur, who are in pretty good form at the moment, by all accounts. A 5-0 win against Southampton the other day, and they've only just beaten as well yesterday, on Thursday, Manchester United in the Carabao Cup to make their way into the semi-finals, I think is what it is. So they'll be on good form. They are on good form, even. Obviously, there are many situations being... Well, I say many. There's one possible situation that can go in our way, whereby if we win, obviously, with the other games on the day, we can... Where the fuck am I looking? We can go top of the table. We can occupy first place with a win against Everton, and even better, you know, with 2 points the difference. Even if we win and Tottenham and Liverpool draw, they don't even have to beat Liverpool, but if they draw, then Liverpool will have still a game in hand, but we will be level on points when all things are said and done. But of course, we don't like to sort of dwell on the ifs and the maybes. You know, this is not the place for that. Obviously, it's all well and good saying what could be, but what we're here for is what will be. And the fact of the matter is, it's a huge game for matches around the table. Aston Villa versus Manchester City. We've also got Crystal Palace at home to Arsenal. Crystal Palace in really good form. So it's not just Liverpool above us, it's also those around us. Aston Villa could all but swipe Man City's title dreams away from them, and Arsenal coming up against an in-form Crystal Palace will you know, be in a bit of tricky water themselves. With regards to this game, however, Chelsea do of course take on Everton. And, you know, many people coming into this game would probably have been like, listen, I'm up for it, you know. Everton aren't exactly a force to be reckoned with at the moment. We're in good form, you know. What's to worry about? And then you realise, well, not only is our form against them a little bit stinky, it's also the fact that they've currently or just has recently been taken over for about £400 million. And so you've heard of manager bounce. Have you heard of new owner bounce? I'm not quite sure we had that. In fact, we didn't have that at all. I don't know what I'm even thinking about. I don't even know why I'm thinking about whether or not we had an owner bounce. We absolutely did not, and have quite possibly gone through some of the worst times in our history since our owners took over. With that said, Everton currently home form. If we look at the table, they sit in about 15th place. 2 wins, 3 draws, 2 losses. They've scored 9, conceded 8, and they've registered 9 points out of those 7 games up for grabs. More recently than not, however, they are unbeaten in the last 5 at Goodison Park. 2 wins, 3 draws, including wins either side of those 3 draws. Those wins being 2-1 against Crystal Palace, McNeil, one of their informed players, but also might not be available for this game and for illness or injury or something. 2-1 in that game. 0-0 against Newcastle. 1-1 against Fulham. 0-0 against Brentford, and then most recently a 4-0 victory earlier in this month against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Mangala, Ashley Young, and then Dawson with 2 own goals in that game. So, you know, it's hard to tell if they are like a goal-scoring threat or not. In general, when we look at their overall record, they're in 16th, 15 games played, 3 wins, 6 draws, 6 losses, 14 goals scored, and 21 goals conceded. They've obviously not scored as many games. They haven't scored the same, even the same amount of goals. What am I trying to say? They've scored less goals than games played is what I'm trying to say. Currently, just 1 win in their last 5, 3 draws, 1 loss and 1 win. Of course, their last match in general was away to Arsenal at the Emirates, 0-0 in that game. So they're a bit of a yo-yo team. It's a strange one. So looking at the recent results in their campaign, 0-0 against West Ham, 0-0 against Brentford, a 4-0 defeat at Old Trafford back in the very start of this month, the 1st of December, and then a 4-0 win against Wolves, but then a 0-0 draw to Arsenal. So 0-0s galore. They love a 0-0. In fact, they've probably had more than any in this campaign. So the fact of the matter is, I don't think we have to worry about it being 0-0. I don't think we have to worry about it being 0-0 whatsoever. I'd say the issue, we're obviously a completely different team these days. So looking at our recent record, obviously we beat them 6-0 back in April of this year. That was at home though. Away from home, it's not looked too good. We've lost 2-0 to them in the last game that we played against them, which was actually, funny enough, pretty much a year ago to the day, minus 2 weeks or so. So not really to the day at all. But either way, 2-0 to them, a 2-2 draw. We did beat them back in 2022. And then it's just a bit of a bogey team, to be honest with you, especially playing away from home to Everton. It's never really that fun, to be completely honest with you. The last time we won, besides 2022, was 2017, a 3-0 win. Pedro, Gary Cahill, and Willian making it 3-0 back in 2017. Just 1 win since then. Maresca, in his press conference, wasn't aware of the fact that we have a pretty stinky record against them away from home. But we'll have to wait and see. I'm, again, more confident than ever coming into these games because of what Maresca brings, the confidence that he brings himself, and the sort of like, I hate the fucking word aura, so I'm not going to use that one, but you know what I'm trying to say. I've basically used it, but do you know what I'm trying to say? It's not aura at all, but it's like the presence that he brings. So I guess aura, but it's a completely different side. It really is a completely different side to years gone by against teams like this that we've struggled against when we shouldn't have done whatsoever. Needless to say, let's go through what my predictions are for the team. I think Sanchez in goal. And of course, Cucurella is an absentee for this game. And as such, I think we will go and revert to Caicedo at right back and so on and so forth with that. I've got to be honest with you, I actually prefer it more than any sort of lineup that we come out with. The other one, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So with that, I'm going to go Gusto at left back. Vega, I would actually be more comfortable with Vega at left back. I'm not keen on Gusto at left back, to be completely honest with you. I think it's shaky. He's gotten better. I much prefer him at right back, much, as does everyone else. But it's the only way I see it going, to be completely honest with you. I'm also going to go with Colwill. And of course, I'm going to go with Moises Caicedo. Now. Benoit Badiashile, along with Wesley Fofana, are both out for a considerable amount of time. And I know I've got Caicedo at right back. Reece James is back in the mix. He is going to be introduced to first team training partially. So he's back once again. But either way, Caicedo at right back. I mean, there's Disassi. But I am going to go. Oh, you never know. Achimpong has been playing more and more recently, but I just don't think it's that time already. And I am going to go with Tosin Adarabioyo, who has played a fair amount of minutes as of late. Mainly as a result of injuries from other people, fitness, or, of course, playing in the Conference League or tournaments that aren't the Premier League, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But that's my back four. Moving forward, it is pretty much the same as it normally would be in this regard. So we're going to go with Enzo. We're going to go with Lavia, of course. I'm looking forward to seeing him playing again. And then up top, we're going to go with Palmer. We're going to go with Jackson. We're going to go with Sancho. And, of course, even though he did get substituted against... what the fuck were they called? Shamrock Rovers on Thursday. Did get a good assist as well. Madueke, I don't think makes the starting 11 because of fitness. I do still think Maresca's going to try and be as careful as he possibly can be. Pedro Neto is back in the mix. He was only absent for one game because of a one-game ban, picking up a second yellow against, or what was it? Of too many yellows whilst playing against Tottenham. But Neto is going to be on the right for me. This is my predicted 11. Sanchez in goal. Caicedo, Tosin, Colwill and Gusto, with Enzo and Lavia in the middle. Palmer in front of them. Neto and Sancho on the wings. And Jackson up top. Let me know your predictions for the starting 11 in the comments down below. And with that said, shall we get into a bit of prediction time? Listen, we've got some good goal scorers at the moment. Palmer with 11. Jackson with 9. We've scored a bumload of goals as of late, So I really do think that even though Everton are privy or are partial rather to a 0-0 draw quite frequently, it's just not something I don't think that we've had this season. Have we had a 0-0 draw? We have not had a 0-0 draw. It's possible. It's not likely, though. Everton are leaky. We are pretty good at scoring, at the moment. We've scored in the league away from home. We'll narrow it down to that. We've scored 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 13 goals in our last 5 away games. That's a lot. That's a sizable amount. I do still think Everton will score. I think that the atmosphere and everything will be pretty good because of spirits being high. I think that because of the new ownership and blah, 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 all that bollocks. We've had it before with Everton when it was a fucking new manager and the fans were out and cheering on all that bollocks. It's happened before against Everton. I don't think it made a blind bit of difference in that game. But no, it probably did. I think that was the 2-0 most recently. But I digress. Predictions-wise for this game, I'm going to go with a 3-1 Chelsea. 3-1 Chelsea. I think it's going to be a lot more comfortable than people are worried about it being. Again, with the other games around the grounds, I think Villa beat City. I think Palace could beat Arsenal. but I'm more leaning towards a draw in that game. I think Palace are going to give them a really hard time. I think we win, and I do think Tottenham may well just have enough in the tank to beat this Liverpool side. If not, a draw at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, meaning that Chelsea will be top of the league come Christmas Day. And then we've got Fulham. So until then, until the game, let me know your predictions in the comments down below. Of course, we are not in the title race. We're just along for the ride, you know. Wherever we land, We're doing all right, I suppose. Most goals in the league, all that sort of stuff. It's light work, but you know, we know the game for real, and that is, you know, we're not in the title race. With that said, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. My name is Harry up the Chelsea, and peace.